Now, I spent the weeks before the budget talking to constituents about what they wanted to see, and I was speaking to them over the weekend, and I have to say it was with sadness and a degree of anger that I met with those constituents, because they know that last week's budget was a missed opportunity. And yesterday, Madam Deputy Speaker, was the first Sunday of Advent. There is nothing like the start of the Christmas period to focus our minds on what really matters at home, as well as what we need to buy. But it also is about our communities. Every Christmas advert shows a buzzing high street, a glowing local pub and happy families safe and together in their homes. And this budget was an antithesis of that ideal. Our high streets have been caught in a perfect storm between increased national insurance contributions, increased energy costs and consumers with less money in their pockets to spend. But those main streets are vital. They give jobs, they bring us together, they create our communities. It's why so many of us across this House stand here in this place bemoaning the loss of banks and post offices, because they are important for our local communities. They are the foundations of high streets that bring people into our towns and make it easy for small businesses to operate. And I continue to be incredibly disappointed that this government says it is not minded to revisit the criteria for introducing more banking hubs. And whilst I know my English colleagues have their concerns over business rates going up next April and the end of the 40% pandemic relief, things were already worse for businesses in Scotland who never saw this relief passed on by the Scottish Government. That 5% discount to the multiplier announced last week could indeed ease the burden for pubs, shops and cafes in Leven, Cooper and St Andrews. So I'm a bit disappointed we no longer have any SNP members in their place to get some answers on whether the Scottish Government is actually going to do something to help Scottish hospitality at their own budget. I do want to say briefly about the energy obligation. It is a short-term help to households, but without offering a replacement to tackle fuel poverty, over the long term energy costs will continue to soar. And I have to tell the Government that scrapping eco is not a solution to the complaints of poor workmanship and in some cases ruined homes that we have seen repeatedly through Eco4. All those homes still need resource as yet unannounced for remedial work, and the retrofit and home improvement sector will only improve when there is a long-term investment in its future. Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, yesterday was St Andrews Day, and I am the MP for St Andrews, and I'm sure that a number of people raised a dram yesterday to celebrate it. But whisky is a vital employer in my constituency, and there are over 41,000 employed in the industry directly. In North East Fife, we're acutely aware of the fragility of the industry, with one of our distilleries, Eden Mill, going into administration just last month. I'm hugely relieved that job losses have been avoided in this case, but this budget has failed to offer any support to prevent similar closures in the months ahead. The other thing I do want to close with is I don't know how the Government can justify reducing the digital services tax for people like Elon Musk, but taking more tax from working people. Most importantly, we could have protected the personal allowance, that small but important amount that you can earn, which is yours to keep entirely. We would not be therefore asking young people to dip their first toe into the world of work and pay tax, nor those at the end of their careers relying on the state pension. My party leader spoke about the measure that would really create growth and that was not mentioned in the budget, and that is a renegotiated customs union with the EU. What it has left us with, Madam Deputy Speaker, is what my Lib Dem colleague, my honourable friend for Bristol and Woodstock, described last week quite rightly as a hopeless budget for too many.